Welcome, everybody, to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show featuring Dr. Carolyn Dean. Join Dr. Dean for the next 2 hours, along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders, also known as Ginny Almighty. Join Dr. Dean as she shares with us her vast range of experience, knowledge, talent, and wisdom. Phone lines are now open, and we'll be taking your calls from around the world and here in the USA.
Welcome everyone to Dream Vision 7 Radio. This is Live with Dr. Carolyn Dean, and we're so happy to have you this Monday, August 31st, 2020, for those who are listening to the archives. And all I can say is gosh and golly. 2020 has been quite a year, but I did not think that we are already in September. It's just amazing. This is Ginny Sanders, Dr. Dean's co-host for the next 2 hours, and we're so happy you're here with us this evening to live and learn and be at the feet of Dr. Carolyn Dean. And she is a person that is just so fun to live and learn with, because I've been working with her for many years, but I'll tell you, she is right on the leading edge of creation. She is living her truth. She is creating an example for everybody, and she is leading the way in natural health, vitality, and well-being by showing us that we can be responsible for our own health, that we can take charge of our well-being, that we can enjoy the most powerful and important things about our bodies, and that we can, in fact, rely on them confidently every day. And today we're going to be talking about something that we haven't talked about a lot before. So our regular listeners are going to love listening to that. We're going to be talking about skin and skincare, nutrition, and how what you eat and what you put in your body and do with your body is affecting one of the largest organs of your body. And I can't think again of anybody more qualified to speak on that, because one of the most beautiful complexions and one of the most beautiful women I know is Dr. Carolyn Dean, and she looks absolutely amazing and has her whole life, and has that beautiful, perfect complexion and those gorgeous blue eyes, is staring back at you with such compassion and love, and she knows how to make it real. With her health and with her well-being, and now with her skin. We're going to talk to her about that tonight. Before we get started, I just want to remind you, this is not a medical advice show. Dr. Dean cannot give you medical advice on a radio show, but what she can do is tell you what she would do if it were her. If she were you, what am I saying? If she were you, she'd tell you what she would do. And she's going to tell you that tonight. And she's going to share with you all of her tips and tricks, natural health strategies, and safe solutions. So you don't have to necessarily exclusively rely on drugs and devices for everything that you need to accomplish and want to experience in this life. So without further ado, I'm going to bring her forward. And again, this is a call-in radio show. We do invite you to call in and be with us tonight. The number should be on your screen. It's in our emails. It's everywhere. It's on our chat line. It's on your computer. And you'll see that number is 646-558-8656. Again, that's 646-558-8656. And then you have a show ID to put in, which is 8836953587. So we hope you'll call in and be with us again this evening. All right, so without further ado, the most delicious, delightful, absolutely lovely Dr. Carolyn Dean.
And there's my signal. Not just the amazing words of Ginny, but the little children down the alleyway yelling, yay. And Ginny said it all again. Yep, this is not a medical advice show. It's a mutual admiration society between Ginny and me and all our listeners and callers. Right, Ginny? That's what it is. It's a mutual admiration society.
I believe that. I can go with that.
Yeah, and it was cute. You said for the first time, live and learn at the feet of Dr. Carolyn Dean. Now, one thing that's pretty perfect on me is my feet. I have the best feet, and I have all my toenails painted different colors. So when you're sitting at my feet, which I really don't, I don't want people to do that, but it would be so much fun because you could play with my multicolored toes. Do you remember my multicolored toes, Ginny?
Oh my gosh, yes, I absolutely do. They are the rainbow colors, and it's absolutely precious. Dr. Dean, I will just say, she's very good at a lot of things, but she is her own manicurist, her own pedicurist, and her own hair stylist. So she's talented at every level, every level.
Wow, very sweet. Okay, so the announcements, reminding you of our subscription service. I mean, how many times have we heard customers say, oh my gosh, I'm running out, can you rush my order? You do not ever have to run out if you belong to our subscription service for your products. We want you to keep referring your practitioners for receiving our practitioner kit to introduce more and more doctors to ways that they can keep their patients healthy. It's very important to spread the message. Referral candy is not chocolate. It's a 15% discount if you refer a friend. They get the discount and you get the discount. We're still requesting that all our customers, listeners, and callers do the home blood test through our research project. You can sign up at our sales website, rnareset.com. And after you register and get your test results, you'll be getting coupons up to the price of the test itself. And the test is for magnesium, TSH for your thyroid, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamin D. Very important testing. Our survey still stands, our magnesium deficiency survey. We're coming up to 80,000 people who've completed the test. And we have terrible news to report. Every time I look at these numbers, I'm totally amazed. Insomnia and anxiety at 70%. So that means 7 out of 10 people that fill out this questionnaire are not sleeping and they're anxious. And hopefully they realize once they get the information from us that taking magnesium, starting their formulas by taking our Remag is going to help turn that around. People with muscle cramps, 60%, restless legs, 55%, heart palpitations, 51%, tension, headaches, and migraines, 38%. So it's really quite horrifying, I guess I would say, when you look at the medical treatment of anxiety or even the description of anxiety. Never is magnesium mentioned. This is probably one of the few places you'll really hear in-depth information about magnesium. And by taking our Remag, you can overcome so many symptoms. We've got 18 free ebooks at Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. All the words that I'm saying today, well, I don't know about the words I'm saying today. I'm always saying new words, but my words are immortalized in all these free ebooks. So it's really helpful for people to download those books and go through them. We've got one paper out in our research so far, which shows that our minerals are in a picometer size. It shows the incredibly fast absorption of our magnesium. It's absorbed within 2 hours on an ionized magnesium test, which means that's magnesium that's in the cells. So that's why we hear from our customers so often that when they take our magnesium, they feel it pretty quickly. We know that's true. It's not as if you have to take a medication for a few weeks to build up the levels to make it work. You've heard that often enough. That does not apply to our REMAG. What we have with REMAG is something that's absorbed immediately at the cellular level. So now we're going to our today's blog.
I got a question.
We're not doing the Q&A right now. I'm doing my little monologue, so hang on. So the blog is about skin, building blocks for healthy skin. And you can follow along. It's in your email or it's at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And what we're talking about here is the importance of nutrients inside your body and outside your body. We haven't really done a webinar or even a radio show on healthy skin. And so just want to give you an overview, starting off with a few fun facts. The average adult has about 8 pounds or 22 square feet of skin. And what I found out about this 22 square feet, it's the size of a standard doorway. Like every part of that doorway covered in your skin. And that's a lot of skin. And, what we're going to talk about today is how to keep taking care of it. And our skin, it's working 24/7 to protect our internal organs from a harsh outer environment. But what happens when skin is injured or when it absorbs chemicals that you put on it? Anything you put on your skin can be absorbed. And that makes you think of all the cosmetics that have all kinds of strange ingredients that you can't even pronounce. All that's being absorbed. And if doctors say, oh, no, don't worry about it, it's not going to be absorbed. Well, the premise of transdermal medical application of drugs through your skin implies and supports the notion that your skin does absorb whatever you put on it. So you have to think of it that way. Continuing on the blog, a healthy dermis has miraculous restorative abilities, and an unhealthy dermis can be both the cause and manifestation of an illness. So for better or worse, let's not forget the value that society places on the aesthetic value of smooth, healthy skin. Adequate hydration is the cornerstone. Clinical studies show that higher water intake as part of your regular diet will positively impact normal skin structure and function. So what do I tell people is the first step in getting healthy and supporting the building blocks of the structure and function of your body? It's hydration. And how much water do you drink? You take your body weight in pounds, divide that in half, and drink that many ounces of water a day. And in each liter of that drinking water, you put a quarter teaspoon of a good sea salt that has some life to it, not just a white sea salt. That means all the minerals have been processed out of it. So that's the basis, and that hydration is going to go in the water, is going to go into your cells, including your skin cells, and sort of perk them up and puff them up. And then the skin also requires good nutrition, exercise to move your lymphatic system, clear toxins away, and lots of clean air. And over the years, I have recommended detoxing through the skin. I began to focus on that because it's less stressful than taking various detox pills and herbs. They talk about people say they were given liver detoxification herbs or intestinal detoxification. Sometimes that's just too harsh, and things just sort of flush the body, flush out your nutrients, flush out your minerals if you're doing that type of harsh detox. Rather than that, I'll tell people certainly to take our formulas, but do external detoxing with Epsom salts baths, clay baths, either a full bath or just for your feet. Saunas can be helpful, but you have to be aware that saunas are going to sweat out your minerals. And I really don't recommend them for people with total body meltdown or adrenal exhaustion. Swimming in the ocean, if at all possible, is great because you're getting a lot of minerals there. There's 3 times the magnesium in seawater than there is calcium. And I also have to mention treating yeast overgrowth to help your skin, because what we've found very often in our customer service is that as people take our nutrients, as their immune system builds up, as they start treating yeast overgrowth with this revitalized immune system, as the yeast are dying, the yeast toxins come out through the skin, and they can cause hives, rashes, itching. Any rash, unless it's defined as like a disease rash, a viral rash, any rash, I think of it as yeast overgrowth toxins coming out. And that's where I begin kind of advising or investigating. So what that means is doing a yeast detox. That requires you to stop eating sugar, even cut back on fruit. And we do a yeast management protocol now, which is with Pico Silver and our Flora Revive, which has a natural antifungal. So it's very, very basic treatment. Sometimes people have to go deeper with other types of natural antifungals, but that's the starting point. Now, in terms of what we use on the skin and in the body, on the skin, we have 3 things that we recommend, 3 products. Our Remag lotion and magnesium is a superb hydration product. And in this lotion, you put it on your skin, and people who use it, I mean, I use it every day. It helps smooth out the skin. It hydrates it. You can see the plumpness of your skin, gets rid of all little bumps and craziness on the upper arms. I'm feeling them now, and my upper arms are really smooth. They used to be all kind of bumpy and had like chicken skin, but the hydration is what will take that away. Our Renew Serum, our concentrated RNA drops, that's what Renew Serum is. And that's like a medicinal skin treatment. People are using it on their scars, on acne spots. You can use it on your face or any part of your body. What I found with the Renew Serum is that it's pretty concentrated. It's very thick. It did not for me make a perfect skin cream, face cream. So I mixed it. I just did a little bit of experimenting with mixing it, the Renew Serum with the Remag lotion, and then I put in a powder of our Whole C Reset. Because vitamin C is used quite extensively in cosmetics to help collagen formation. It's the wrinkles that we get from gravity as we age. We get wrinkles from being relatively dehydrated and from gravity kind of pulling things down if we don't have enough collagen. as sort of the basic tissue structure underneath our skin. So the Renew Face Cream just became something very easy, very smooth to put on the face, and people really love that. And for minor boils, acne, wounds, I do recommend clay. We used to have a clay source, but there's so many good clays out there. It's best probably to get an edible clay, just so you know it's pure. And if someone has an abscess, I remember someone who had an infection after they had a rectal abscess lanced, and I don't know if it was stitched up or it was just allowed to drain, but it became infected. So I recommended getting some clay powder. Instead of mixing the clay with water, mix it with Pico Silver as an immune support, and putting that kind of thick mud on the area, and it drained out the rest of the infection. And I've used it as a poultice, clay and Pico Silver. I'm sure you could also put Pico Zinc in there, because zinc is used externally for acne. Silver itself is used for burns. If you get a sunburn, you could spray Pico Silver on the skin. And then there's the internal nutrients. Even before we started using the Remag lotion or Renew serum or the face cream, actually we did have the Renew serum early on, but people were just using that for major skin problems. But when we were using our nutrients orally, our minerals like Remag, Remite, etc., people were telling us that their skin was feeling so much healthier and looking so much better. And you can read about the various nutrients, dietary supplements do play a major role in skin health. And skin also encompasses hair and nails. These nutrients, they help reduce dark spots, red blotches, bruising. That's where the vitamin C comes in. Wrinkles, excessive dryness, and improves firmness and elasticity. Magnesium works on elasticity, as I said. The collagen being promoted by vitamin C improves firmness. So we've got the nutrients. If you're at the email that you received right now, we talk about the Remag, balancing cellular hydration. As an electrolyte, it directs water into the cells. The zinc is an essential mineral. This is our Pico Zinc. Zinc is an essential mineral that helps the body inside out. It can help maintain the health of the skin due to its anti-inflammatory effects. It's especially beneficial for inflammatory acne and related scarring. That's where I would put a poultice of clay, edible clay, mix it maybe half and half with Pico Silver and Pico Zinc, and just put it on the spot. I do that when I occasionally get a funny little spot on my face. I will just dab a little bit of clay and Pico Zinc on that, or Pico Silver, and seriously, it's drawn out and gone overnight. Vitamin D is an anti-inflammatory. This is our D3K2 reset. Vitamin D can normalize cell turnover and prevent the buildup of dead cells on the skin surface that promotes psoriasis. So that's pretty interesting. Now, the other thing about psoriasis is that it can be promoted by yeast overgrowth and yeast toxins coming out on the skin. There's a chemical in the toxins called zymogen that promotes psoriasis. And psoriasis, I mean, if you think of it, yes, it's a known skin condition, but it's basically very high turnover of the skin. It's like the skin cells, they grow and they die really quickly, and then they build up on the top of the skin in layers that just kind of flake off. So as I said already, vitamin D normalizes cell turnover, preventing the buildup of dead cells. Vitamin D also functions as a steroid. It is a pro-hormone, and it works within the cell's nucleus to promote the proper structure and function of genes. And the Skin Cancer Foundation recommends vitamin D as a way to prevent skin cancer. I've talked about vitamin C. That's with our Whole C Reset, and it's in our RNA face cream. Vitamin C for tissue repair, for accelerated wound healing, and Pico Silver and Pico Zinc do that as well. If I get a little tiny fever, blister, cold sore on or around my lips, I just put a cotton ball in a little tiny cute dish of Pico Silver and dab that thing as many times a day as I think about it. And it dries the thing right up. So that's accelerated wound healing. And vitamin C also eliminates bruising. How it does that, it heals. No, I shouldn't say heals. It strengthens the tiny capillaries that are near the surface of the skin. And if you're deficient in vitamin C, which means scurvy causes bruising and bleeding and leaking, and these capillaries just are too weak to hold the blood, so they kind of break and cause bruising. I say that the bruising we see on, great grandma's arms, that's a form of scurvy, and she needs her vitamin C. Preferably whole vitamin C, food-based vitamin C, not just ascorbic acid. So it increases type 1 collagen synthesis, improves the elasticity of the skin. Magnesium does as well. And vitamin C helps to reduce levels of lead, mercury, and other heavy metals as a detoxifier. In the blog, we have Blue Ice Royal down as the vitamin D, vitamin A, and vitamin K2 provider. And we're moving away from Blue Ice Royal. One of the results of doing our grassroots health research project was finding out that most of our people who did the in-home blood test kit and filled out the questionnaires, most of them, including myself, were low on omega-3 fatty acids, which was one of the reasons I was using Blue Ice Royal, along with it providing vitamin D. My vitamin D was abysmally low. So, when you do an experiment and you get a result, then you have to abide by the results. So, not only did we make our own D3K2, and I reversed my dosage recommendations on vitamin D. I had just been recommending 1,000 to 2,000 international units. And personally, when I went to Grassroots Health on the homepage, found the vitamin D calculator, I've realized that I should be taking 10,000 units of vitamin D a day to get my levels up to the 40 to 60 nanograms per mil required in clinical trials to maintain good health. And with the Blue Ice Royal, then, I'm still taking some of it, just one a day for the vitamin A. Vitamin A, however, you can find that in food quite readily. We are going to put some vitamin A in our restructure so that we can cover everything. But in terms of omega-3 fatty acid recommendations, I'm myself experimenting with a brand called Nutrasea, Nutrasea. They say the liquid is easier to absorb, and it does seem quite expensive. What we know from the grassroots health studies is that about 1,400 milligrams of the EPA plus DHA per day is necessary to get to the 8% of omega-3s that people require for good health. It's a bit. I'll have to do an FAQ on this for customer service, because I know people are going to need some more input about this, because it is a difficult topic. There are apparently like 400 different omega-3 fatty acid supplements, and Grassroots Health, they have found that the Nutrasea liquid is one of the better ones, and also there's an IWI brand, which is a vegetarian omega-3 from algae. That's also quite expensive, and the EPA and DHA is very low. EPA 150, DHA 100, so that's 250. If you want to get 1,400, I mean, you're looking at having to take 6 pills a day, and this product comes in bottles of 30 pills. So that'll just last you for 5 days. So we're trying to find the best sources. We usually make our own products when we can't find something that's perfect. I don't know if that will be the case with omega-3 fatty acids. I'm trying the Nutrasea. I'll do it for 6 months and do my blood tests and see where I arrive. If you look this up on Amazon, there's a 1250 milligram Nutrasea liquid and a 2,000 milligram. And it looks like the 2,000 milligram label is on both products, both the 1250 and the 2,000. So, you know, you really have to not only read the labels, but read the information that describes the product as well. Yeah, Ginny, that's our next big topic to tackle. And on top of that, get this. Fish oil requires a fatty meal for the best absorption. If you take it on an empty stomach, it's not well absorbed. So when I used to take the Blue Ice Royal, I would just take it in the morning with my others. I wouldn't be eating, until noon or 2 p.m. So I probably wasn't absorbing anything of it. And what's the last nutrient we talk about is our vitamin B complex, Realign. It also has 2 amino acids that support glutathione production. So this B complex is pretty huge in skin health. Studies show it helps produce healthy new skin cells. Vitamin B3, the niacin, shows signs of reducing skin aging, may help reduce the appearance of age spots and other forms of skin discoloration. B5 for the treatment of acne and skin aging. And there's a lot to be said for all the B vitamins, but we never talk about it for skin health. I talk about it more for the nervous system and for detoxification. And the blog ends with talking about sugar. Sugar feeds yeast and can cause a lot of health conditions. It's one of the biggest culprits in compromised skin health, targeting the skin and gut lining with 178 toxins that can create skin eruptions such as psoriasis, eczema, acne, and all manner of skin rashes and inflammatory skin conditions. So eliminating processed sugars is essential to having healthy skin. So those are the words in the blog, and I've done a lot of sidebars there. So I'm going to bring Ginny in to find out what you think I've missed, or if you want to add anything to the discussion here, Ginny.
Fantastic. As usual, you don't miss much. That was a great presentation, and I loved what you said about the omegas, because that is next, and it's a question that a lot of people are asking about. So perfect. Belinda here on the chat line, Carolyn asked, so either zinc or silver plus clay for burns. Does that mean sunburns and stove burns are treated the same?
I wouldn't put clay on a sunburn. What I said about sunburns is, and I have not tried this, actually, on our products, we don't burn, we just don't burn anymore. Ginny has found that as well with her blonde skin. But for burns, if you look up silver and burns, you find that it's used on these horrific burns that people get in fires. They put sulfur, what would it be? I think they impregnate a sulfur liquid on gauze packing and then lay that on the skin. So they know that sulfur is important for burns and for wound healing. I would personally just take our Pico Silver, which has no preservatives or anything. It's just the silver, and I would spray it on a sunburn and see what happens. But for wounds and boils and acne, that's where I would mix some Pico Silver liquid, Pico Zinc liquid in with the clay to make it into a paste and put that on the offending area. As a poultice, I mean, I've talked about poultices for a long time. It used to be just, put a clay poultice and mixed with water, slap it on, and it does a good job. It draws out infections. I've used it when I've had injuries, like scraped myself silly when I flew over the handlebars of a bicycle just a couple of years ago. So my knees were a mess. So I came home, I dragged myself home, and I put just plain water poultice on my knees to pull out any dirt or make sure it didn't get infected. But when I started adding Pico Silver and recommending that with the clay, just even more awesome results.
Very good. Thank you, Carolyn. And I just want to say also something too that's fun. And I think I might have said this a couple of weeks ago, Belinda, when we went to the beach, I put Pico Zinc in a small cosmetic mister bottle, and I used it while I was at the beach just to spray my skin and my face and everything to keep from burning. And it worked beautifully well. And I came back with a really nice looking skin, very soft, very smooth. So I think Pico Zinc is just off the charts. And also, Carolyn, I want to tell you that yesterday, Greg reached into the garden and came out with some crazy thing that just went charging up his arm. It looked like it could have been poison ivy, but it was not even, it couldn't have been, because it didn't even get into the blood. I mean, it just went right up his arm. And man, I ran in and got that Pico Zinc and just started spraying it all over his arm. And by the time last night went away, all the swelling, you know how it starts to bubble up and get real icky? All that bubbling and everything just went away. And today his arm it's still pink, but it doesn't have any of that weird bubbleness, and it didn't go any further.
Wow, that's wonderful. Yeah, you really love that Pico Zinc, don't you?
I'm a Pico Zinc addict. I am. I just love this stuff so much. And I was wondering, what do you think about, now this is just a sidebar conversation. You guys pretend you're in the boardroom. We're just having a sidebar. What do you think about nebulizing zinc? Would you do that? or misting it or
right.
anything?
I think with our Pico Zinc, it doesn't have a preservative, or does it? I forget.
It does not.
Yeah, if it doesn't have preservative and it's just the mineral, yeah, I'll have to email Dr. Levy, Dr. Tom Levy, when he was on our radio show back was it in the spring? He introduced nebulizing hydrogen peroxide to us. And I nebulizing Pico Silver. I haven't thought about nebulizing Pico Zinc, but golly, I mean, the fact that it's used with hydroxychloroquine, zinc is used with hydroxychloroquine for COVID, then Pico Zinc for the lungs, should be incredible to support the structure and function of the immune system. But let me ask Dr. Levy about that.
Okay, that'd be fun. Wonderful. Excellent. Very good. Okay, I think we're caught up on our questions on the chat line. Very good presentation, Carolyn. Thank you so much. That's wonderful.
Okay, so let's just tackle a couple of these. We only had a couple of questions. Someone is saying, who's this? Kevin is saying, my father's recovering from a serious case of cellulitis. He's no longer breaking out and is doing much better, but his legs from just below the knees to his ankles are still red, peeling, and blotchy. Is there anything he can do to restore the look of his legs to more normal? He's in his early 80s, so healing is slow. And see, we don't like to hear people say, well, I'm 80, so I'm going to be slow in healing. That's why we're telling people, take your vitamin D and your vitamin C and take your probiotics and your zinc and your silver so that your healing will be more perfect. So first of all, though, let's just say what cellulitis is. It's called a serious bacterial infection of the skin. Very common, more than 3 million cases per year. Most people it's a bacteria, so you're going to get a ton of antibiotics. So they say it happens when bacteria manages to get under the skin and spread to the tissue beneath. The bacteria are usually strep or staph. Now, streptococcus, staphylococcus, those are bacteria that just hang around on our skin. So, what appears to happen is you can get a cut or a scrape on your skin. I think in diabetes where people have a certain level of numbness of their feet and their lower legs, they can cut or scrape themselves and not even realize it, and then end up as a friend did here, an overweight young man. He had a cut on his foot. He knew about it, but he wore his flip-flops walking around after we had a big flood, I don't know if it was a hurricane, but it was a real weather formation. So I was walking around my boots because it was amazing looking at all the trees down and everything. But he was walking around in his bare feet. He developed an infection in his foot and went away on business with that infection, came back with his foot, ankle, lower leg, up to his knee, completely swollen. He was imagining himself having an amputation. So I think he arrived back, late at night. He didn't want to go to Emerge. The family called me over and asked me what I'd recommend. I did happen to have a whole supply of clay. So I mixed it in water and we slathered his whole lower leg, knee down, where the swelling was, with this clay poultice, I call it, and just kind of lightly wrapped it in towels. And the next morning, I swear, the swelling was gone down by 50%. So we kept doing that. And I guess, yes, it would have been a cellulitis because that's what happened. He had that wound and the bacteria got underneath the skin. And I guess cellulitis just means the cells under the skin were infected. So what do we do with Kevin's dad? So he's kind of after the fact, but because he's probably had a lot of antibiotics, he's going to have yeast overgrowth. So he really has to watch his diet and not have sugar, take our Flora Revive to treat the intestinal flora, get them back, normalizing the intestinal flora, because when you take a lot of antibiotics, you kill off good and bad bacteria, and then you leave yourself open to the yeast to overgrow. And then those yeast toxins, they're constantly dumping toxins on the skin. So what's happening with Kevin's dad's ankles still red, peeling, and blotchy is a number of things. The lymphatic circulation could be a bit blocked, could be dehydration. When the skin is sort of has been breaking out, you're going to have dehydration, and the skin is just going to be all dry. So what would I be doing? Let me think. I'd put Remag lotion on the skin. If it looks like it's still infected in any way, that's when you would use your Pico Silver clay poulticing. I mean, that would help anyway. Internally, you're going to be doing Flora Revive and Pico Silver as a natural antifungal. Couple of teaspoons of that, and then Kevin also asks about pock marks from acne scarring. Now that could be where the Pico Zinc and clay would come in. I would start with that and our Renew serum. We've had many cases of scarring resolving with the Renew serum. Can you talk about that a little bit, Jenny, your experience in customer service with Renew serum and skin scarring?
Yes, I was looking through a lot of the testimonials as we were working to get ready for this show, and I was remembered even Carolyn remember how Jermaine dropped that hot iron on her leg and put Renew all over it, and it cleared up in just a few days. I mean, one of the great things about Renew, it definitely for burns, and then we've had a lot of people use Renew for scarring. It just keeps the skin soft and supple, and then it just seems to renew those cells and allow through the RNA drops and the other ingredients that are in there to really allow the skin to heal beautifully. Yeah, lots of great testimonials, and also lots of acne. It's just incredible. I don't know if it's the ozone, the antibacterial qualities of Renew that do it, but acne, cystic acne, acne scarring, anything related to acne really is beneficial when it comes to the Renew.
Yeah, and that could be easier to work with than trying to poultice each little acne zit. And acne comes up in the second question. That's all the questions we got. 2 questions. So somebody's saying, I'm 52 years old. I've had acne since I was a teenager. While it's much better, I still get it if I'm stressed or have wheat exposure. Mostly it heals up with salicylic acid products. They're kind of drying products. They would dry up the area. But sometimes I get a spot that takes months to heal properly. Am I missing vitamins or nutrients that would be causing a delay in healing? I also sometimes get tiny little pimples around the corners of my mouth. I'm 52 years old, as she said. I'm sick of acne. So corners of the mouth, that tends to be B vitamin deficiency. So that's interesting. So that's our realign. And as for the spots and taking months to heal, I guess our whole discussion about using the internal remag and remite and realign, and then on the spots themselves, the renew serum, or using a poultice of clay and pico silver and zinc to draw out the poisons, because it's like this ongoing battle in the body with trying to consolidate an area of infection that kind of makes it into a cyst and makes it, long and drawn out, or working with it to try to pull out the poultice, pull out that material to the skin. That's the way I would go about it. But, when people talk about something going on for ages, it's like the body is fighting to encase it in kind of a little cyst or a little lump, and you're trying to get rid of it. And especially if it's an acne, you may be playing with it and squishing it and trying to squirt it out, and then that causes more acne scarring. So for this, our friend, 52 years old, don't know if male or female, taking the completement formulas to support the internal structure and function of the immune system, and then doing the external renew and poultices with pico silver and pico zinc. So there.
Very good. Excellent. Is there something that you personally do for your skin that we didn't cover in the blog, in the show?
Actually, there is. I think about this every once in a while of sharing it. Many years ago, I either heard or just struck me that men seem to have smoother skin in general than women. And I thought, well, what are they doing that's different? Well, most of them are scraping their skin with straight razors, or their shavers. They're constantly working at what? Exfoliating their skin. So I think I'd already developed the practice of using cleansing grains on my skin. I'd even make different ones, some oatmeal and maybe some millet, and blend it up just for something that would be scrapey on the skin. I use right now like 5 different skin exfoliant skin meals. They have all kinds of different names for them, and just develop the consistency I want. And most mornings I'll wet my face and then scrape and scrub this stuff all over my face, and I will leave it on. The clay is one of the ingredients I have in my cleansing grains, so I leave it on as a mask. So I'm totally exfoliating, plus using a mask every day let me leave it on for 15-20 minutes, the time that takes me to get ready to go for my walk. So I think that really helps my skin.
Oh, that's cool. I like that term too, cleansing grains. That's neat. Now, what do you think about using like sugar or salt on your skin? Because a lot of times you see those treat things in the drugstore or whatever, and they're either oil with sugar in it or oil with sea salt or something in it.
Right. I mean, yeah, there was a whole thing about sugar as an exfoliant, but I found them too harsh. They could I think they could damage the skin. For me, it felt like when I tried them, they felt too harsh.
Okay, excellent. Very good. Great presentation of information. We're going to take your calls starting in the next hour, just a few minutes to the top of the hour. Let me remind everybody, and we do have some callers holding right now, that the number to call, again, is 646-558-8656. You can also, if you've got our post or our email, you can click that clicky little button and come right into the call. If you're using your phone, 646-558-8656, then you've got to enter your ID, which is 8836953587. And then when you get in, you're going to hit star 9. Star 9 on the keypad is going to raise your hand here in the studio. And our wonderful producer, Rachel Love, or myself will see your blue hand waving. And then we will put you on the line with Dr. Dean, and you can speak to her about the things that you'd like to know about and any concerns that you have about the content of our show. Now, if you are listening through the archives and we've touched on something in this hour that you'd like to get some clarification on, and Dr. Dean's not available to speak to you live, you can email questions, questions, at drcarolyndeanlive.com. That's questions at drcarolyndeanlive.com. And there's also a question and answer comment on every blog post at Dream Vision 7 Radio Network that you can correspond directly with me, and I will respond to your questions. So we've got lots of resources for you to be with us, to get the clarity that you need so that you can implement some of these strategies and to your benefit, of course, that we've talked about on the show today. And again, in the next hour, the topic skincare, but we'll open up the phones and we'll talk about anything, won't we, Carolyn?
Yes. We sure will. I was muted for good reasons. I was muted for a good reason.
Oh, very good. Very good. Okay. So again, next hour we'll be in with our callers. I see a couple of hands waving. If you're on the phone right now, you've got to hit star 9 on the keypad, star 9 to bring you into our call. And we'll take your calls again, or chat in through our live YouTube broadcast. You're welcome to chat in, as is Elma, our wonderful, faithful listener from Kuwait. I think it's 3 o'clock in the morning there. We love her for that. And also our customers who listen to us from around the world, Australia, the UK, Italy, and very soon, we'll have a big concentration of listeners coming to us from Asia, which is very fun. And then, of course, all our wonderful listeners here in the United States, including Nancy M. and Belinda and all of our great Super Dougie and everybody else who's on the chat line with me tonight. So we're so grateful we're here. Let's take a station break, and we'll be back at the top of the hour with more of Dr. Carolyn Dean Live.
We'll be back with Hour 2 of the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with host Ginny Sanders, right after this brief station break. You can also get updates and resources online by visiting drcarolyndean.com. That's drcarolyndean.com.
Did you know there are 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency? Magnesium deficiency is a public health crisis growing in scope and proportion. Dr. Carolyn Dean, author of The Magnesium Miracle, has identified over 65 health conditions associated with magnesium deficiency, 100 factors that lead to magnesium deficiency, and 24 reasons why magnesium deficiency occurs. Order The Magnesium Miracle today at Amazon.com and learn how to remedy this pervasive condition.
Do you have questions about your health? Are you wondering about alternatives? Do you ever wish you could have 5 minutes with a doctor you can trust? Someone who is an internationally recognized authority in the field of natural medicine? Meet award-winning doctor, naturopath, and best-selling author of The Magnesium Miracle, Carolyn Dean, MD, ND. Hear a wealth of information designed to empower listeners and callers to discover how to improve health, vitality, and well-being through a variety of safe strategies and nutritional options. Dr. Carolyn Dean Live. Shows can be heard every Monday, 7 to 9 a.m. Eastern, with weekly live shows, 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern Time on syndicated Dream Vision 7 Radio Network.
Natural health, vitality, and well-being. Yes, everyone wants it, but not everyone is sure how to achieve it. Dr. Carolyn Dean's Completement Formulas are more than just dietary supplements. They're whole foods and picometer minerals designed to complete your nutrition, not just supplement it. Experience the difference Dr. Dean's formulas make. Visit RNAreset.com to learn more. That's RNARESET.com.
Omega Institute, offering workshops, retreats, and online learning dedicated to awakening the best in the human spirit. With more than 40 years at the forefront of holistic studies, Omega is known the world over as a trusted source for integrated approaches to personal growth and social change. Located in Rhinebeck, New York, just 90 miles north of New York City, Omega's natural environment and quiet pace allow for extraordinary experiences to unfold. Learn more at eomega.org or call 877-944-2002. Again, 877-944-2002.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe, relax, and enjoy. Let life flow.
Return now to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show, along with her host, cohort, and good buddy, Ginny Sanders. Phone lines are open during live broadcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Hour 2, live with Dr. Carolyn Dean here on Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting humankind with universal love and uniting humankind with our very own most precious Dr. Carolyn Dean and all of her wisdom, and increasing health, vitality, and well-being around the globe. It is so exciting, and also love, because I know her as a very loving and compassionate woman who is so much fun to be around, but her sincerity about wanting to see people really improve their health is legendary. Hence her 2-hour radio show where she sits down and talks with people every single Monday night. We're so grateful. Now, speaking of that, next Monday evening, Carolyn, is going to be Labor Day weekend, and I don't think we're going to be able to do a show next Monday because I actually might not be here. Is that okay?
Okie doke. Oh yeah, that's fine. Of course, it's fine.
Okay.
You know, for me, every day is a holiday, so I don't mind.
That's right. So we'll make a mental note to all of our listeners. No live show next Monday. It'll be a replay, but then the following week we'll be back with a whole nother complement of wonderful information for everyone. Now, shall we go to the phones, Carolyn?
Yes, that would be awesome.
Okay. So again, 646-558-8656, and then hit ID 8836953587. And we're going to go to our first caller at area code 910. So I'm going to ask you to unmute your phone, and you are going to see a little blue sign on your screen that's going to allow you to unmute, and then you can come into the call, area code 910. Okay, you've got to hit the little button that says to unmute your phone. That's the one thing people are not picking up of this Zoom system. I think they've done it, Carolyn, because they've had some security breaches. So we have to actually ask them to unmute their phone before they can come into the live call. And it probably is an improvement with all the things that have been happening, all the companies that have been doing Zoom and all the hacking that's been going on. So 910, are you here with us today?
Yeah, I'm here.
Perfect. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Hey, how y'all doing?
Great.
So I just got kind of 2-in-1 questions. But like intaking a lot of water, like when you use the bathroom a lot, is it actually absorbing the magnesium, being that you steady going to the bathroom as the more water you drink?
Yeah, you're going to, especially with the Remag, it's going to start absorbing right in your mouth. And then it's going to absorb in your esophagus, in your stomach. So it doesn't flush out like a pill might. So you're okay with the Remag. And the other thing is, if you're taking your sea salt with your water as well as the Remag and Remite, you don't urinate out as much if you're not taking the minerals. The minerals, when they get into the cells, they actually pull water into the cells. And, just think of the trillions of cells in your body. So each of those cells wants to have some water. So it ends up, the amount that you drink is not the same amount that you urinate out. That water is being used. It's breaking down into hydrogen and oxygen because water is H2O. So you get my drift. It's a whole processing that's going on.
Okay, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And on the
what's your name?
I'm Brad.
Oh, Brent. Okay, go ahead.
On the muscle twitching, would you say that's more of a potassium deficiency?
It's I used to think it was mostly magnesium deficiency, and then when I finally get around to making the pico potassium, we're finding customers who said, "Oh my gosh, the rest of my twitching is gone with the potassium." So I think it's, I'd say like 75% magnesium and 25% potassium.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah,
well,
it's really never one. It's never one thing. I mean, in medicine they try to say, well, you got a disease and here's the one drug you have to take. That's not the way the body works.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, that makes a whole lot of sense, though. It definitely makes sense.
Yeah. What else you got?
Well, that was really all I wanted because, I'm steady trying to drink more water, at least a half a gallon, but, I'm steady going to the bathroom, so I was just mainly wondering was I'm still absorbing it. That was really
so did you get a good sea salt? Are you putting the sea salt in it?
Yeah, I am, but I don't think I'm putting enough.
Yeah.
So I might need to pump it up.
Yeah, pump that up a bit and just gauge. I know, I have to drink most of my water during the day. I try not to drink too much at night because it can, get you up at night. that's just natural. So that's what you would do as well. Just as soon as I get up, I drink like 16 ounces of water, the sea salt water. And then I go for my walk, and I come back and I mix up my liquid minerals in some of that sea salt water. And that's what I'll drink throughout the day. And then one more glass I'll drink. I'll take a great big hit of the mineral water, and it's a strong taste. So I just follow that with a big drink of the other plain sea salt water. So you develop kind of a protocol to, the proper way to take it. Everybody's different. When some people get away with just taking all their minerals once or twice a day, but then they'll come back to us and say, oh, well, look, I have the laxative effect, and it doesn't seem to be working. And that's when we really reinforce, no, you got to either sip it through the day or, take a few gulps every hour or two to get down your minerals.
Yeah. Well, I will say, since I have you on here, I do the remag is working, because I was going through it last year. I was going to the doctor. They were saying everything normal, heart palpitations, nothing to worry about. But it's hard to ignore when it's steady. They never mention magnesium. They just say you got, it just go away on its own.
Oh,
so, I definitely appreciate you. Definitely.
That's good to hear. That's good. I know. I mean, it's good when a doctor says, "Oh, you don't have to worry about it," but they're not the ones with your heart thumping around, and you don't know what's going on. Because it used to take my breath away when I'd get mine. I'd sort of have a little and then I'd cough and
that's exactly what was going on. And it's so stressful because you don't know direction to go. When the doctors, you go to them for help, and they say it's totally normal. Your heart is, fine, nothing to worry about, but it keep happening. So how you worry about it? Like,
I know, it's like by your own experience that there's something going on, and the fact that we never learned anything about magnesium or potassium for these palpitations or leg cramps, never learned word one in medical school. So they are not the experts in anything to do with nutrients or supplements. So it's very frustrating because they'll say, "Oh, you're fine," just whatever they say. What they say, especially to women, they'll say, "Oh, you're just anxious. Here, take this pill." And
stress
that's
just crazy thing.
The stress. It's stress. No, it's messed up.
I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate you, Dr. Carolyn. God bless.
Thank you. You have a very sweet voice, and we appreciate you too. Me and Jenny we love our customers. We love it when you call in, because when you call in and I'm able to answer a question, a lot of other people benefit. So thank you so much. You've called in before, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. You take care.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay, very good. What a sweetheart.
Yeah. It's and when people say, "Well, the doctor says it's okay, but I'm still suffering," and where are people going to go? What are they going to do? It's very frustrating. And if you say, "Well, go to a naturopath," or so, that's very expensive these days. It's very expensive to go to a nutritionist. So I'm just glad we're able to, provide this landing site for people.
Absolutely. All right, let's go to our next call, area code 423. 423, I send a little blue message to you to unmute your phone at 423 so that you can give us permission to speak to you over the phone. So we're not violating your privacy or any other sensitive thing. And then as soon as you hit that blue button, we'll put you on the line. Are you there?
I think so.
You are.
Wow.
Hi.
Awesome.
Well,
You win the prize.
I was trying to listen to the recording lady at the same time. Like, what are they saying? Anyway, thank you for taking my call, Dr. Dean. I've been a fan for 15 years plus, I guess, and taking your Remind Remag at least since they came out. And just a testimonial and a question, I guess.
Okay.
I started with Remind Remag, I've had a yeast problem forever and really just didn't do all the things that you recommended. And pretty much I've been listening and reading for all these years. And I finally decided, you know what, I'm going to take all of these products because that's one thing I've never tried. So for me, I can say, I'm still working on the yeast issue, but wow. I mean, taking all of the products, they used to give me insomnia. So now I've learned I take my first round in the morning at like 5 and then my second round before noon. And I'm pretty much not getting the insomnia, which I think is from the barley, is what I've figured out. But it's such a great feeling. I mean, I can say the focus, just the energy is amazing. I'm feeling really good. And I use your face cream.
Yeah. Oh, good. A skin testimonial. Tell us.
Yes. So I knew you'd want that. So anyway, I have a little spot on my forehead that I've felt sure for some time now would probably need to be taken off, but I haven't gone to a dermatologist. And so I've been using it now. I'm on my second bottle. I just started and I'm pretty sure it's about gone away. Whatever it was.
Wow.
I don't know what it was, but it
that's
is
wonderful.
Yeah, it's really smoothing my skin, and I at least the spot, it was just very itchy, and I would like scab over and then come back.
Right. Yeah.
It's going away.
Yeah, I know those. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, we don't like to say, sorry, you didn't give us your name. What's your first name?
I'm Sherry.
Sherry. Yeah, Sherry, we don't say to people, well, do this on what you may think is a skin cancer. We can't say that, but a lot of people have given us those words. There are these skin blemishes that can flake off and then be even a little touch painful, and they flake off and then come back, and it can be a keratosis, or it can be a type of abnormal skin production. I won't even say cancer, but it is amazing if you give your face these kind of nutrients. It knows what to do with them. It's like the body doesn't want abnormal cells. And so the skin is always being rejuvenated, the layers slough off and new skin cells form. So if the building blocks for the new cells that are forming are supporting perfect cells, then eventually those abnormal cells just don't get recreated. That's what's going on. We're
really,
yeah. So it's not like we would never say that our products are killing cancer or doing anything like that. We're just creating perfect cells so that there's no room for abnormal cells. And the way the Renew RNA drops, concentrated Renew part of the face cream, the way that's working is described in our RNA Reset webinar. If people want to learn more about the RNA drops and the Renew and the Mighty Mash, because I use the Mighty Mash, which is the waste product of our RNA drops. It's the dried straw, right, from the barley sprouts. And we did the experiment, dug that into the soil, planted radish seeds in one plot with the Mighty Mash, planted the other plot with radish seeds and no Mighty Mash. And what did we get? We got 85 pounds of perfect radishes in our Mighty Mash plot and 3 pounds of okay radishes that could be sold in the other. So we proved that the soil, if it has good bacteria, which is what Mighty Mash provides, and it's alive, then it can't support weeds and bugs and worms and grubs that will attack the plants. So that's the same for the body. We allow the body to choose the building blocks that make perfect cells. Ginny, do you have anything to add to that? Because I know you love the Renew and everything. Did I explain that properly?
Yes, I think it was beautiful. And we do have so many. I mean, Renew's been on the market for 10 years now, unbelievably. And it's just been a steady product for so many of our customers. Very, very beneficial.
It's hard to wrap your mind around. As a customer, I've read over and over again about the RNA and trying to figure out, okay, so what is it exactly? But I can say this, Dr. Dean, after listening to you for so long and just knowing your heart and how hard you've worked and all that you've done for all of us, I think, well, if she's taking it and she says it's good for me, I'm going to start taking it. So I'm taking it orally as well. I can really tell my body. I do have a question for you, though, for my husband, who he's finally coming along, and at least he started bleeding.
We've lost your voice, Sherry. Sherry. She went into the tunnel.
She did go into the tunnel, and I'm here.
Yeah, and I'm here.
Do you hear me?
Yeah, now we are.
Okay.
There you go.
She's back.
Can you hear me?
Sherry? Yeah. Okay.
I can barely hear you for some reason.
Yeah. Who knows what it is, but we hear you now, and I'll just speak up. You were talking about your husband.
Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So he has the diagnosis of Nion, which is just not getting blood flow to the optic nerve. So I've been doing the eye drops with an RNA, which I didn't take your first suggestion, which was preservative-free saline. So my eyes were burning pretty bad there for a bit, and I finally recognized what I did, and I started preservative-free, which I kind of had to get a nasal spray because you can't find it really for some reason. Right. But anyway, he is afraid to use it. I know that he's very nervous. They are saying his vessels are swollen and crisscrossing, and because of high blood pressure, so they put him on a blood pressure med, which is, I hate that he's doing that, but he's on a really low dose. Also, he's been on the magnesium. Now his blood pressure has gone very, very low. I just wanted to see what your thoughts were. I know the RNA drops and an eye wash would probably be good for him. Would you think?
It would, but I mean, with the blood pressure, if it's improved with the Remag, you should get that checked and see if he can come off it, because low blood pressure will also decrease the circulation in the eyes. If he's got swollen blood vessels in the eyes, that's got to do with collagen and vitamin C. Okay. So personally, I would be doing the whole C reset, even 4 a day, to heal up those vessels. And there are a couple of blogs I've written about the eyes, not about this condition because Nion's is pretty rare, but you could look up, just Google my name and eye health, or I think I talked about macular. Oh, okay. Because the eyes need all the nutrients. So this is where, the Remite as well as the Remag, they don't know if it's an infection or if it's just an inflammation. So the inflammation, as they said, the vitamin C and the magnesium are important for inflammation.
Okay. They
And
are saying
probably
macular degeneration also.
Oh, they are. Okay. Then you follow all those things, I know. And you don't have to kind of, push him into doing the RNA drop in the eye. One drop in half a cup of an eye cup of saline is so simple to do. But, when I started doing it years ago and just, I experiment with everything, and I was doing it every day. It was too much. So he just needs to do it maybe twice a week. And it's, and tell him that, and maybe by showing him, look, it's just one drop in all this water. And how I get my saline water is there is a preservative-free saline for contact lenses that you can get.
Oh,
Have you seen that?
One. I didn't find. I even had to find this at the health food store. I mean, that was the Walgreens didn't have one.
Wow.
I'll have to look again. Okay. Right.
So yeah, just as many nutrients as he can take, because if you heard. Well, yeah, I'm just going to say it this way: if you heard yourself just a minute ago saying, I finally took all the products, and wow, that made the difference, right?
I know.
But it's hard, thankfully I have my Bob, he'll do anything I tell him to do pretty much. So, I'm pretty happy for that. But just before you go, I wanted to ask for the yeast. Have you been on our Flora Revive?
Oh, I'm doing 2 a day. See, and even that, I took it at night and it kept me awake. So it just, I would say to anyone listening, whatever it is, just keep trying and figure something out, because for me, it's just taking everything before noon. And why, and I emailed you once and you graciously answered me about why it keeps me awake, not Revive specifically, but just a lot of the products, like even Restructure. And you said probably I have a yeast problem, and you're right, exactly. I haven't been wanting or willing to give up wine or do all the things you suggested. So it's been my own fault. But yes, I am seeing a huge difference. And in fact, adding the Pico potassium I'm not getting up as many times at night to go to the bathroom. So just a lot of tweaking. I thought that was just yeast is what I thought all the way, but it seems like it wasn't. Seems like it might have been potassium. Because I heard you say that to someone.
Right. Yeah, we're really happy with the Pico potassium, and I kept away from it for a long time because the FDA just says we can only use 99 milligrams per dose. So that I didn't want to get in trouble with the FDA, but we got around that, and it's been remarkable helping people.
Yeah, I'm so glad because I needed it. I did, and for leg cramps also.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, and your husband probably needs it too. So get him to listen. Get him to listen to this, and maybe he'll follow the advice of a caller named Sherry, who said things finally started to come together when I used all your products.
Yes. Well, he is listening actually right now. I'm asking for him, so he's laughing. But,
okay.
He's been stubborn, but there's nothing like going through a health crisis like he is to make you really start wanting to learn these things. And it's a lot. I mean, I've been listening for a long, long time, and you've taught me so many things, Dr. Dean.
Right.
So it comes together over time, but you have to be willing to really work at it, like you always say.
And I'm like I said, Nines is rare, but when it's described as the swollen, inflamed vessels, I mean, they're just going to block the vision. They just look at it as structural condition, where the structure of the vessels swollen up, getting in the way of your vision, and we just have to reduce the swelling. And the swelling can be reduced with strengthening the vessels so that they don't dilate and swell up, with the vitamin C, because that supports the collagen that tightens up those vessels. And then the blood pressure, you can have similar symptoms with high and low blood pressure. So I'd really take that situation to the doctor and say, well, the blood pressure's good now. Let's get off this drug. So
that's really low. He's supposed to go tomorrow, and they're going to dilate. They're going to put dye in his veins to dilate his vessels. I'm not sure how illuminate them, I guess. I don't know what they'll see there, but it makes sense that he needs a vitamin C. I see where you're going with that. So it's not going to be as fast.
Yeah, he'll be glowing in the dark. You're going to be glowing in the dark. They're going to
thank you so much, Dr. Dean.
Okay, yeah, keep us posted, Sherry. And
I will.
Mr.
Thank
Sherry.
you. Yes, thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye now.
Oh, how wonderful. What a lovely call, Carolyn. That was just precious.
Yeah, a lot going on for people.
Yeah, there is. But she's going to be better now. I know that for a fact. And so will her lovely husband. Very, very much so. Okay, excellent. All right. And let's see, who else are we going to speak with this evening? Our phones are still live at 646-558-8656. And then your ID 8836953587. And let's go to area code 203. So I'm going to hit the ask to unmute. 203, you're going to see a blue button on your screen. And then you're going to have to click that button and accept our request to unmute your phone for security purposes. And then you'll be on the line with Dr. Dean and we will start chatting away. Again, area code 203. If you could unmute your phone and respond to that button, then that will let you come into the call. And we'll put you on the line with Dr. Dean. There you go.
Okay.
Hello.
Well, hi there. How are you
Hello
tonight?
there.
Hey. This is Linda and Barb. We've been using your products for at least a year, maybe 2 years, especially the magnesium. But now we're doing, adding all these other things and the minerals. We do magnesium, minerals, and salt every day. Barb uses calcium every other day. But we're actually calling about. So we have two questions when we do the tracking for the blood test stuff. So that's. We appreciate the coupons we get from that. Two questions. One is, are there any products that can help with cataracts?
I don't use products like medications, as you know, but what the conversation we're having here today with Sherry about eyes, it also, it encompasses the whole eye. I'm just looking up a blog I did on cataracts, and what's interesting is cataracts can be a type of calcification. So that calcium, when you Google cataracts, you will. Cataracts and calcium, you'll see that there is a percentage of calcium in cataracts.
Okay.
So, that's where it's saturating with the Remag, and, I don't know what amount you're at, but to saturate, people often need 3 teaspoons of Remag. Personally, I do the 1 drop of RNA reset drops, 1 drop in saline without preservative, like Sherry was saying, and do that twice a week. Just hold that eye cup of 1 drop of RNA reset drops in the eye, and it does help any sort of eye situation. But the other aspect is, how far along is it? cataract surgery has come a long way. It's so, it's like an outpatient procedure. I tell people not to be afraid of it. If they try what they try and it works, great. But, don't be afraid of cataract surgery. I'm trying to balance that out too.
Sure. So, should we stop taking the calcium then, or if it's calcification, or are they related?
Are you doing recalcia?
Yes, the recalcia, 1 teaspoon every other day, like Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
Right.
Osteopenia. Yeah. Because Barb has osteopenia, so we thought the calcium would be good for her.
Right. I mean that's not. It is not much calcium. No matter what condition a person has, I think 600 milligrams a day are sufficient. So what we do is get people to go to chronometer.com, CRONOMETER.com. You can type in your diet and then, click for calcium and find out how many milligrams you're getting in your diet. And if you're getting enough in your diet, fine. That's people obviously who are on dairy products and a lot of greens. They'll be getting a fair bit of calcium.
Right.
And that keeps it down, the calcium too, a good balance rather than like the 1,200, 1,500 milligrams in the RDA, which is what calcifies people. But it is about balance. So it's, the 3 teaspoons of Remag.
Yeah. So Barb eats a lot of greens and things like that. So
right.
Yeah. So the other question is.
So
Okay. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So you may be getting enough calcium, Barb, just in your greens because they're very high in calcium.
Yeah. Because Barb is whole food plant-based. So nobody eats more greens than Barb does. Everybody should have a Barb in their life to make salads. I cannot tell you how well I eat. So here's my other question. So our friend Rob is in a lot of pain, and he did have MS so bad that he was in a wheelchair. Now he's blind, but now he's fine from that, or seems to be. But he has agony from arthritis throughout his body. He has a hernia that is virtually inoperable by sternum. And the only thing they come up with is losing weight. So we're just wondering, can any of your products
and diverticulitis?
Diverticulitis just came back. So we're just wondering, is there anything of your products that could really help with the pain that?
And we gave him the magnesium already.
Yeah.
We gave him the magnesium.
Right. How much is he taking of the Remag?
What a great question. I can't get that out of him. But how much should he be taking?
He's probably about 200, 225 pounds.
And the doctor keeps telling him to lose weight.
Yeah, and the doctor wants him to lose weight because his hernia is.
And he's a walking time bomb.
It's all
right.
He does. The other thing is he doesn't sleep. Like he has a CPAP machine because he can't sleep. So.
Yeah. Wow. Well, I mean, all those conditions, we talk about total body meltdown, but it's like I said for you, Barb, the 3 teaspoons to get rid of calcification. And with arthritis, it's either, calcium can build up all over the body in joints or in tissues and can cause inflammation. So if he could be on 3 teaspoons of Remag, that would help his sleep as well. Because, when you're in that much pain, you're not going to, well, obviously he can't exercise, so he's not going to lose weight. And you're only, the only pleasure you have in life is eating. So he doesn't want to hear that he can't eat. So I would say 3 teaspoons of Remag. And
he's having a hard time eating and holding things down because of the hernia. But so 3 teaspoons of Remag, and like the closer to bedtime, the better for sleep. You think?
He could do 2 teaspoons through the day and then the 1 teaspoon at night to see if that will help. But with the food, then he could have our Restructure protein powder drink. That's going to really help his nutrition. And the other thing I would say is Pico Silver, because with the history of MS, that does imply yeast overgrowth, and it implies there could be subclinical infections, because arthritis in Chinese medicine is infections in the joints and tissues, subclinical infections. So I'm not going to say to take all our products yesterday, but those three would be the most important to get him into, and he could put the Remag in his Restructure and sip that. He could put the Pico Silver in his Restructure as well, and that would get it all done.
How much silver per day do you think you should take?
I would take 2 teaspoons.
Okay. We take it, by the way, every time we think we've been exposed to other people, or we feel like a cold is coming on. It's been very helpful.
Oh, love that. I give it away to people. I buy so much. I give it to people.
Yeah,
that's
we do.
Great.
Yeah. And
that's
you're
wonderful.
still recommending silver for preventing COVID inflammation and all that. Are you still recommending that?
Linda, we can't say that. Right.
Yeah.
But absolutely, it's for supporting the structure and function of the immune system. No question.
Okay.
So I have a question.
That's for
I take 1 teaspoon every day. I mean, religiously, of the Remag. And I put the salt in it, the sea salt, just like you say, and I put the minerals in there. And then I go to Zumba, and I drink that in an hour and 40 ounces of water, and that. And then if I do any more, then I get, the runs, you know what I mean? So how do you work up to 3 teaspoons? How do you work up to that?
Oh, I see. Well, what you would do maybe is get the Remag lotion and use that as your body cream. Yeah?
Yes, I have that. I put that on my feet every night before I go to religiously.
Does that count as the magnesium, the 1 teaspoon of magnesium?
A teaspoon and a half equals a teaspoon of the Remag liquid. So you just measure it out and see how much. Maybe it's like 6 or 7 squirts. So that means you're up to 2 teaspoons. And I guess maybe Barb, you're drinking it in too short a period of time. If you space it out some more, then it won't overload your cells and then drop into your intestines as the laxative effect. See what I mean?
No, the 1 teaspoon never does that. No, I'm perfect. No, but I'm perfect with the 1 teaspoon. And then at nighttime, when I put it on my feet, I'm not really measuring it. I just put a pump, and I rub it in my feet every night before I go to bed. Religiously, I do that. So I should do more, and then I should put it all over my legs and body, and help him.
Yeah, your arms, upper arms, get your skin all nice and smooth, and that way it's never going to cause a laxative effect. And see if maybe the 2 teaspoons is in total is enough for you with the eyes and with the other things you're going to be doing.
Whoa! And I already gave Rob a lotion already, and the Pico Silver and the Remag. I fill him up with everything.
So thanks so much, Dr. Dean. We appreciate your help.
It's a privilege to talk to you. I really, really thank God for you being on the planet with us. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're really
Thanks, Barb.
a gift to all of us.
Thanks, Linda. Appreciate it. Okay. Bye, girls.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
What a fun trip you are, eh, Carolyn?
I know. They're taking care of the whole planet,
They are. That is so precious. I love them.
Yeah.
That's very, very, very fun. Okay, I think we've got one more caller here. So let's do that. And then we'll skedaddle off and do our other things. We're about, 10 minutes to maybe 12 minutes to the close of the show. And So let's see. Let's go to area code 731. I'm going to ask you to unmute. So area code 731, I sent you the little blue sign, and you've got to look for that on your screen. And there you are. Go ahead, please.
Hi, Carolyn. It's Priscilla.
Oh, there she is. Hi, Priscilla. How are you today, dear?
I'm better than I was last week. I contracted COVID.
Oh, did you? Oh, you silly girl. Oh, my gosh. You just did that so you could cure yourself. I know. You did.
No, somebody brought it to church, and it was like, would you stay away from me?
Oh, isn't
but
that
anyway,
something? Yeah.
Yesterday was my was the first day in like 10 days or something that I didn't have fever in the morning when I got up.
Wow.
But
yeah,
I'm feeling a lot better than I was.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
wow.
I enjoyed your topic about the skin.
Mm-hmm.
I was wondering, I have these tick bites all up and down my legs.
Uh-huh.
What do you recommend? What would you do? They're dark. Oh, maybe about as big around as a crayon, the end of a crayon.
Yeah.
They're not itchy anymore, but they were. And it's like, I wonder what Carolyn would recommend if that was her, what she would do for them.
Right.
The Remac lotion.
I think that's probably because what you're looking at is you want to decrease the discoloration, right?
Right. Mhm. Yes.
Right. Yeah, probably the Remag lotion. And over time, see what you have to do there, Priscilla, is you say, okay, I'm going to do this and it's going to work. And you put it on, but you don't even look at them. It's like you don't say day to day, oh, it's not working. Oh, it didn't work today. Oh, it's not working. You just make a habit of putting the Remag lotion on your legs, and then you look at your legs after about 4 to 6 weeks, and then
it's cleared up.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Because there's something in the human brain. If you keep looking at it every day, it's like you recreate it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I get that.
Okay.
It's like when they were itchy, I was putting my silver on. I would just smooth that on.
Yeah.
And help take care of the itch.
Yeah. And you know what I'm going to say? I'm going to get Ginny to send you complimentary bottle of our RNA reset, RNA reset. No, the serum. Ginny, can you send Priscilla a free bottle of the Renew serum? Yep. And what you're going to do an experiment, and you're going to do one leg with the serum and one leg with the Remag lotion and see what happens.
Okay. See what. After 4 weeks, I shall call you and tell you what happened.
Exactly.
Okay. And I caught that next week you will not be having a teleconference. Is that right?
Correct.
A radio
That's
show.
correct.
Okay, that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Okay, sweetie, you good for now?
I think so.
Hey, Priscilla, be sure to email customer service and let them know your.
I'll have to phone call them.
Yeah, that's okay. I don't have your email address, and so I don't
have an email.
Okay, so call customer service and just let them know. They'll hear the show because they listen to it every Tuesday morning.
All right.
So they'll know. All right.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Carolyn.
Sweetheart.
Okay, sweetie. Thank you. And you take care of yourself.
We'll try.
We'll hear more about this COVID business another day when you're completely over it, okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Have a good evening.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, Cindy, I got an email back from Dr. Letty about zinc, nebulizing Pico zinc. You there?
I am. You came in and out. I think you said you got an email back from Dr. Levy about the zinc and what he said.
Correct. So I said, have you heard of anyone nebulizing liquid zinc products, i.e. Pico Zinc? He says, I've done it myself quite a bit, but I haven't, quote, heard of anyone doing it. He does it sometimes with hydrogen peroxide, sodium ascorbate, and magnesium chloride. And he even uses DMSO. Now, I'm not going to go there, but we have it from our nebulizing expert that he has used liquid zinc, and certainly our Pico Zinc without a preservative is pretty pristine. So there you go. And what I have is a whole bunch of little Instagram testimonials. What do you want to do for the last 10 minutes?
That sounds great. Yep, we're at 8 minutes till the top of the hour, and that's perfect.
Okay. So Kate, who runs our Instagram beautifully, she sent over the following, and they're short little testimonials. And who is this? Someone called Soul Technology said, I notice this is working, and I think she means Remag, over the past month because my nails are stronger, and I thought it was seeing things, but my hair has been growing. So much gratitude. Beth Hunter says, I just ordered some Pico Zinc along with Remag. Love, love, love your product so much. Micheline writes, I've been studying health and nutrition for the past 20 years from the best in the functional medicine world, and Dr. Dean is a cut above them all. So there, allopathic medicine. Anyway, continuing. Thank you for your commitment and dedication to produce effective, high-quality products. Susie says, scary how much I depend on this Remag lotion. I love it. Thank you, Dr. Dean and team. And somebody, Taylor, says, I'm telling everyone I know to get this Remag lotion. Lordy, it makes me feel alive. Julie, our dear Julie, says, all the new formulas are amazing, and we are all very grateful for your hard work, Dr. Beautiful Dean. And here's our Ben Pelton from Florida. Dr. Dean is the best, with little hearts and things after it. Taylor again says, I recall telling my thyroid doctor I felt so much better since I was taking magnesium. She said, what did she say? I jumped a page. She said, yeah, magnesium is good. I thought, why didn't you say this to me years ago? I found Dr. Dean on my own, and it has truly been a lifesaver for me. I love Remag and Remag lotion. Cheryl says, thank you so much, Dr. Dean. I've learned so much from you, and your products are amazing. Wilder says, Remag saved my life. Remag melted the calcification out of my body, causing me to be so stiff it felt like I was 100 years old. I am back to feeling 40. I'm actually 66. Thank you much, you genius Wonder Woman, Dr. Dean. These Instagram people, they are just so over the top.
Wonder Woman, mighty, mighty. I love that. That is great. We should start playing that at the beginning of the show. You genius Wonder Woman. That's the best one I've heard. That tops me for sure. That's awesome.
And Jen says, I live in Bend, Oregon, a big beer town. I fill up a 64-ounce growler every day with Remag, Remite, calcium, and pink salt. And a growler is a glass, ceramic, or stainless steel bottle used to transport draft beer in the United States. So she uses it in a good way. And she says it works like a charm, one for me and one for my husband. Isn't that sweet? someone who calls herself Embrace the Heart says, Remag, Remite, and Pico Potassium with 1 teaspoon of salt in my water every day. Can't live without it. And Patrick says, words of wisdom. You have empowered people so much with your wisdom. Thank you. And they throw in all these hearts and symbols and everything. It's so cute. And someone else called C2 Vadub says, I've been using Remag for close to a year, and my husband finally started taking it too! Exclamation. We don't miss a night. My partner stopped taking it because he said he was sleeping fine without it. So I told him about the mood stabilizing benefits, and now he won't go to bed without it. And Whole Primal says, Remag for life. And Gentry says, it is an encyclopedia of information, but easy to understand and read. Great book. Talking about Magnesium Miracle. All of your products are made with the highest integrity. I can tell they are working. So glad I heard about you from her friend Marie. And Nice Meister says, get this book, people. 5 exclamation marks. Don't grow into old age thinking all the health BS that comes is normal for getting older, as doctors will tell you. Get this book, people. Cool. And Shiflet says, everyone should read this. Game changer. Patty says, Remag. Life changing. Sarah says, fresh air, silence, prayer, and Remag. And the last one is longer. Cheryl says, have used as a gargle for sign of sore throat, sinus infection, and now a teaspoon in my water every day as a boost to my immune system. So that's Pico Silver. Love Remag and Remite will be taking advantage of the sale. That's when we had the Pico meter sale, like Pico Silver sale. Works better than any pill or powder. Changed my life. This product changed my life. These are a whole bunch. So the last 5 are like a rapid fire. So after Shirley says taking advantage of the sale, we have works better than any pill or powder, changed my life. Next one, this product changed my life. I'm eternally grateful. Next one, Dr. Dean is a miracle worker. And the last one, I look forward to your show every week and I'm learning so much. So thank you for all you do. I find you guys the calm amongst the storm we are going through. It's so comforting. X. So we got a kiss there and lots of hearts. Awesome. Thank you, Instagram.
Absolutely. Thank you, Instagram. That's great. And Kate, our Instagram maven, who keeps up with everything and is herself the queen of hearts and championing all the little squirrely images and things, or little circly things and everything, and all the pretty colors. Our Instagram is very pretty. Yeah. Kate's a very accomplished artist, so we're very fortunate to have her. Well, this has been a great show, Carolyn. I think everybody's learned so much about their skin and how to take care of it. And even more than anything, the hope that you don't have to use expensive pills or powders, expensive potions to on your face, in order to, go to any of my girlfriends' houses and open up their drawer, and it's just knee deep in a bunch of stuff that they've never really been able to use. And I remember one time you said the thing that you love so much about Renew is that you could actually eat it. You wouldn't necessarily eat it, but you could, because all it has in it is the drops and olive oil, and that's it. So, I think a little rose oil. So, but it's all fully digestible, and that's what we want, is food for our skin. So you've done such a great job again contributing, Carolyn. Thank you so much for everything. You are the best.
And thank you, Ginny. I couldn't do it without you. So we ride off into the sunset and won't see you for 2 weeks, but we will be thinking about you. So build up your questions. We're ready for you.
That's right. That's right. Happy Labor Day, everybody. Take care of yourself. Be well. Thank you, Bob, for being there. Dr. Dean's glorious husband, Bob, who is the king of all things. And thank you, Rachel, our producer. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Rachel.
You've been listening to the Dr. Carolyn Dean live radio show. For questions about today's broadcast, email Dr. Dean at questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com. That's questions@drcarolyndeanlive.com.
This is Dream Vision 7 Radio Network, uniting mankind with universal love. Our shows are created from the heart, bringing each listener to a place of divine enlightenment. Breathe.